Hi, welcome to the fourth episode of Heart to Heart Talk. As you know, this talk show is about people from the streets. They are just ordinary people, and I just like to talk to them because they have so much interesting story to tell me. And today, I have another ordinary guy with extraordinary strength. I would like to introduce you to my good friend and all of us. Please welcome brother Malik. Malik. How are you, bro?
Alan, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming
Thanks for
on to
having
my
me.
show.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Yeah. Malik, I can't say that I know you very well. Yeah, because I know you, I think, about 6-7 months. Yeah.
Closer to a year, right?
Close to a year. Yeah, I think close to a year. We were jamming and all that.
Yes.
But we share some interests together,
Yes.
and then we became good friends.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think basically we share some interests.
Right.
I know you pretty well by now, but I think some of the audience may not know you so well. Maybe you can tell the audience what you actually do or what you have done, or you are a musician now, isn't it?
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, maybe share with the audience. They want to hear from you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thanks, Alan. I'm basically a corporate guy turned musician. Actually,
All right.
yeah. I've been in the IT industry for quite a few years, and I decided after about 20 over years in the industry, I decided to change.
Oh, that's a big change.
Yeah, it's a big change
From
because
corporate to musician.
from corporate to musician, because the last project I had was in banking.
Okay.
And I was handling banking software for a project with Bank Negara. So that really, did something to me, and I decided I was not going to do any more stressful work.
Okay.
So I took 6 months off,
Okay.
and during that time, I met a few friends of mine who I knew from a long time ago,
Yeah.
and they convinced me. I convinced myself that I was going to do music.
Okay.
Instead. So I've spent the last five odd years doing music full time.
Okay. So how did you get to be a musician? Were you a musician earlier? Do you know how to play?
No, I wasn't at all. Actually, I
you
think
play any instruments at first?
I think I had piano lessons till I was 8 years old.
8 years.
And that was about it, After that, it was like, being part of the gang, playing guitar next to the...
Okay. But what grade do you come up to with your piano?
I didn't even get past grade 3, I think. So, yeah, it took me a while. But during that time where I was in IT, I didn't actually think of myself at all doing music.
Okay.
But I think after I slowed down and I thought about what I wanted to do in the future, that's when I convinced myself that I was going to do music.
Yeah, I think you had quite an interesting life also. So I have some pictures that you gave me. I would like to share it with the audience.
Right.
Can we have the screen, please? So that we can look at. And this is the young Malik, is it? You look good there.
Black hair.
Yeah, you have black hair. You're handsome. You're still handsome now.
Thank
don't
you.
worry.
Thank you. So are you.
And what actually were you doing there? I see some equipment at the back. And
Yeah, this is my college days when I
Okay.
was in Los Angeles.
Oh, you were in LA.
I was in LA. I financed myself. I was not government sponsored.
Okay,
So
what do you
I-
study in LA?
I studied the cheapest degree available. So I didn't do anything to do with music or with IT because that was very expensive.
Okay.
So I did the cheapest program, which was mass communications.
Okay.
So my degree is in journalism.
In journalism.
And I have a minor in political science.
Okay, so
So
what were you doing here? At
This is when because when I actually financed myself to America, I worked many jobs.
Okay.
I worked 3-4 jobs at a time.
3-4 jobs.
3 to 4 jobs at a time. You were only
Just to
allowed
finance your studies.
to finance my studies.
Okay.
So total, I think I was about 180 credit units. So that came to about, each credit unit is about 300
When
USD.
was it? When was it?
This was way back in 1987.
87.
87,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
So you were doing all the odd jobs in
I was
America,
doing
yeah.
all kinds of odd
Waiter.
jobs. No waiter. I didn't do any waitressing or
Okay.
waitering. I actually cleaned toilets.
Wash jamban.
Jamban. I sold newspapers. I sold the Los Angeles Times.
Okay.
Subscriptions. I sold stereos. I sold. I worked as a librarian. I cut wood.
Oh, you did?
And this particular picture is when I was working as a student assistant at the Instructional Media Center, which is where they do broadcasting. So this is the broadcast, one of the broadcast booths, and it's one of the educational programs that they had, and I had to become a producer director.
Okay. Is that a 3/4 machine there? Or
Those are 3/4 inch decks. Yeah. So we were doing AB rolls and all that.
So also in US, you did learn a lot because you were working in this editing and all that stuff. Also.
Yeah, while I was learning to write,
Yeah.
I had a lot of writing classes, courses. I actually had to do. I took to video quite well.
Okay.
So and also computers. So this particular setup had an Amiga 2000 NewTek video toaster. It had various machines that. At that point in time, I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I had to manipulate, and I learned a lot about video, about broadcasting.
Yeah, nothing like hands-on experience. Yeah. You
Nothing
just got
like
to,
it.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can just study so much, but you really need to be hands-on.
You need to be
really learn.
hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were doing editing, helping them with the shooting.
This is actually live. I
This
was
live,
doing a
okay,
live show. I was doing a live show over satellite, over our satellite dish, for a C++ program, I think.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
So you went to US and you completed the course, of course, is it? Yeah.
I finally completed. Actually, it's not complete. It's actually paid for the course because after about, I think I finally paid everything off in 5 years.
Okay, because you
So
have
I had
work.
to finance
Yeah,
myself.
you
I
have to
actually
finance.
used my American Express card. I had a couple of Visa cards. So
so you
I had to pay it off. So I had to stay on and pay it off.
So what do you come back with? What was the certificate that you have?
So I have a BA in mass communications
BA in
with a
mass-
degree in journalism.
Degree in journalism.
Degree in
yeah.
journalism.
So, did you move on to journalism?
When I came back, the two main interviews I had was at the Star and also at TV3.
Okay.
So I applied for a job as a graphics guy in animated and post-production techniques. APT. I don't know whether you guys remember it.
Yeah. It's a production.
It's a production house.
Yeah.
And then
They do the finishing,
They
isn't
do
it?
the post-production.
Post-production,
So basically,
yes.
it's post-production.
Yeah.
And I also interviewed with the Star and eventually became a cub reporter.
Okay, I think there's one article here that the next slide, please. This is something.
That's one of my articles.
Yeah, that's one of your articles.
That's one of my articles.
What was this article about?
Because I had spent a lot of time with TV graphics, I wrote about what I knew. So this was about writing about 3D, about animation, fly-throughs, essentially what Malaysia actually was being exposed to at that point in time. I was with the Star Intech section, and I worked with people like Devin Arul and Asohan. Lots of great people there that taught me a lot about
I
writing.
think this thing was a breakthrough during that days because this is one of the first 3D animation machine, isn't it?
At that point in time, this was 1993.
Yeah.
93. So you were remembering the ray tracing for Benson and Hedges ad.
Right,
Remember
right,
that?
right.
Yeah. So this is basically
someone
some of the,
coming out and play the horn or
yeah,
something.
exactly,
Yeah. I remember when we first saw it, we were just like, "Hey, what is happening? What is this?" That was the just
state
the
of the art at that
state
time.
of the art at that time. Yeah. So you wrote this article.
I wrote this article.
Yeah.
I think it was in my 4th or 5th month under the guidance of Asohan, who really honed my writing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you did quite a bit of writing also, lah. Yeah.
I had no choice. I was being paid, not a lot, but I was being paid. So I was a journalist for a little time.
You started off as a journalist. You started off as a journalist. Yeah, okay. Then I think there's something here quite interesting. So the next slide, please. You were into something else.
Okay. This was in 96. Actually, after I left my role as a reporter, I joined. I was headhunted by Sapura Uniphone to start up a small shop in Malacca, which was a Macintosh shop. So I started back to where my hobby was, which is computers, and I had studied a little bit about computers in America. So after about 2-3 years of selling computers in Malacca, I decided to come back, and a person called Richard Stevens from People in Rich took me on as a manager to start up what was to become the first Malaysian cyber cafe.
Oh, it was the first cyber cafe.
It was the first cyber cafe, and the name of the company was Cyber Cafe Sinar Berhad.
Okay.
So this particular article was written. I think this is the Star also.
Yeah, I think it's Star.
Yeah, I was also in The Edge and also on TV3.
So where was this place?
This was in Plaza Damansara.
Plaza
Damansara. Yeah.
So it did. I'm sure it did quite well. Also because it was something new, isn't it?
It was very, very new.
Yeah.
In fact, at the same time, I think there were 2 other cyber cafes that opened, but ours was the first with a lease line.
Okay.
A lease line connection. And we had worked together with Dr. Muhammad Awanglah from Jaring to implement that. And we had 20 computers from ICL and also from Apple.
Yeah.
So
this
it was
is quite a serious,
groundbreaking
setup.
Yeah, it was a yes.
But some other cyber cafes seems to have gone down.
After about a year or so, then it became a games place.
Yeah.
Cyber cafes. Originally, it was actually from an idea that we got from a UK pub. There was a pub that converted itself into a cafe.
Okay.
Into a which had internet called Siberia. So a fellow called Ivan Pope, I think. So that was the original concept. Yeah. But then because in Malaysia, I think at that time there was a growth in IRC, internet relay chat, and also games, more games. So the cyber cafe scene became more of a games
So
scene.
the thing to learn from here is trend moves on very fast.
Very fast.
Yeah, even for us who are in a corporate or in a business, we have to be very on our toes.
Yep.
Yeah, even like today, we're talking a lot about streaming. We don't know what's the next big thing.
We have no idea.
Streaming now is a big thing, but we don't know what's going to happen next.
Yep.
Just like Cyber Cafe was the thing during
the
the time.
thing, yes.
Yeah, and
then
it's something else now altogether.
Yep.
The next slide, please. And there you are.
This is actually
quite
a lot.
Recent, is it?
This is actually quite recent.
Okay.
This is actually this is actually about 5 or 6 years ago. This was when I first started doing jam sessions. In Subang Jaya.
Okay.
The gentleman on the left is my uncle.
Oh, your uncle.
I think all the Otais will know him,
Yes.
He's a well-known guitarist from RTM. His name is Sulaiman Hashim. People call him Tik. So I think your first guest, Jimmy Lowe, actually played with Tik a while back. So it's about that genre. I think Tik is a bit older. He's about 70 something.
Is he still playing?
He is. He had a stroke a while back. He's a bit, but he can still play.
Yeah.
So he's still around.
He's like a sifu in a way.
Oh, he is an uncle So but I had a lot of sifus. I got a lot of people to thank.
So was it hard learning under your uncle?
With him, oh yes.
Yeah.
He's very particular. So being an orchestra player and he studied under Dato' Johari Saleh.
Okay.
So he learned from when he was very young, 13 years old. So he learned very under very strict guidance.
Yeah.
So that was what he tried to, to teach me.
So no tipu lah.
Cannot tipu. You cannot tipu.
Okay, so all the
you
real
have
stuff
to
coming
play
in.
exactly how it's supposed
All
to
the
be played.
all the tauge.
I can't read so much, but when he did teach me a lot of theory, I had no choice but to learn, circle of fifths, how you construct music.
Yeah, I think it's
so
good
that
to have
was-
a good basic, a good grounding.
I'm very thankful to him.
Yeah, so I'm sure you have good grounding now. Yeah, but I also heard some very interesting story that what happened to you. You told me the other day about your stress learning, and you nearly died.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience would like to know that. What happened to you?
After about, I think, my IT career was actually quite long. It's about 20 over years. So after I decided I was going to take a break, I took a short break. I did some gardening. I went home. I spent time with the family. But after about 6 months, I got very bored.
Okay.
So I started going out and doing some jam sessions and so on. But when I finally decided that I was going to pursue music full time, I got in touch with a few people to learn. I had to study, because I didn't actually go through the normal musicians
You didn't go through
education.
lessons and all that classes.
So I tried to actually accelerate the learning process.
Okay.
And at one point, I was trying to learn a little bit of jazz.
Yes.
So I called upon my uncle to teach me a few pieces lah.
Okay.
But that almost killed me.
Really? What happened?
Learning to play jazz is rocket science to me.
Okay.
At that point in time, we were supposed to do a gig. We had a small gig somewhere in Sunway.
Okay.
And we were preparing for it, and I think it was the second or third time I was playing with him.
Yeah.
But we wanted to play some quite interesting and very advanced pieces.
Okay.
So last minute, I had to actually do a lot of changes to it, transposition, etc., etc. So I stayed up the whole night. And
What was the name of the song that you?
Oh wow! It was I think there was an Earl Clue song.
Earl Clue. Oh
There was George Benson.
All right.
A few standards lah.
Okay.
But being unable, I think I bit off more than I could chew.
Okay.
Because by the morning after that, the morning that I was supposed to do the gig, I felt something, and I went through. At that time, I didn't know what it was, but I felt very sick.
Okay.
And when I went to the hospital, they told me that I actually had a heart attack.
My goodness. How did they find out that you had you went for a checkup? And
They did a scan, and then they saw that I had actually gone through what do they call it? They call it a cardio infarction.
Okay, or whatever that is.
Myocardial infarction.
Okay, but that
So,
really killed you.
Yeah, I was lucky. It only ate up half my heart. So I'm actually working on 50%.
Okay, so
But,
immediately you.
so I had
check
to
in?
stop.
you
I
check in.
stopped, and I was in the hospital for about a week. Then I had my bypass. I think about a month after that, and then right after that, I decided I was going to buy myself a better keyboard.
Okay. So you didn't play at a gig after your.
Right after my bypass, of course my wife had almost a heart attack herself. But she knew that I needed to play, and I needed to finish what I started. So she agreed. I bought another keyboard, and I started to play solo.
Okay.
So that way, I was actually able to control my output instead of playing with bands or playing 2-3 piece. Because 2-3 piece or playing with bands is also a lot of work, So I was playing solo, and I was doing about three gigs a week.
Yeah. I met your wife, Mimi. She took good care of you during those days.
She had no,
She
I
had no
suppose she had a choice, but she stuck with it lah.
Okay,
Thank God.
okay. She was stuck with you, and she took good care of you. You have children?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many of them?
I have 3 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, okay. They're still studying, or are they?
Yeah, I've still got 2. I've got 3 studying still. My oldest daughter is already married, but I've got 3 boys who are 1 in college, and I've got 2 more still in school.
Yeah. So a lot of people say you banyak kaya, don't have to work and all that.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, I
This is
tell
true.
you, no, it's not true. Even now, I thought I had enough to retire, honestly. But after, after going through all that medical expenses and going through all this and that, I think I have to start. I got to work again. So this is the reason why I decided, I couldn't just stay home and relax. I needed to do something.
I don't know whether you want to make this public or not, but how old are you today?
I'm 54.
54. I think you still got a lot of good,
hopefully,
good energy.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've been doing quite a bit after your interest in music also. I see you started something. I think. Can I have the next slide? Yeah, this is something that I saw quite often in Facebook. Is this something that you coin up, or what is this all about?
All right. This is a logo for after 20 over years in the corporate line and doing marketing, business, sales, especially in technology. I realized that during the MCO. During the pandemic and the lockdowns.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, how are the people, especially the musicians?
Exactly. During the lockdown, it was very bad.
Yeah.
So I had people, not just people, friends, family who are also musicians, call me up and friends asking me for assistance, etc. During the lockdown, a friend of mine and myself, we decided we were going to develop a social enterprise that was going to help people that were affected by the pandemic. And this word BRADA actually comes from the word brother.
Of course.
Brotherhood, and it basically relates to friendship and family. So we use this as a symbol, as a sign for our company to assist others who are less fortunate.
I think it's a brilliant strategy, because it's just like you give someone a fish, you can just have it for a day. This is like giving them a fishing rod, something that which they can build on, isn't it?
There were so many times where I had to dig out from my pocket and give, but I thought to myself after a while, you can't simply be giving money to people.
Right.
You need to actually be more creative and more substantial in how you assist other people, so that they don't just take the money and spend it, but realize, but have a platform for them to assist themselves.
Okay. So basically, this is a platform. Can I have the next slide? This is something that you did with BRADA, is it? What is this all about? Yeah.
Right. This is actually the 3rd event that we did. BRADA actually started as a social enterprise, and we created events. In the initial part of the MCO, we created an event to assist musicians to come together. First of all, and then to help each other by selling whatever they had. They had food. A lot of them actually did food business. During the MCO.
The easiest and
even now they're doing food business.
Because everybody got to eat.
Everybody has to eat. So it was basically survival. Some of them were selling sanitizers. Some of them were selling T-shirts, etc., etc. So we got them all together, and we created a platform that allowed them to actually sell it to the public. So because they didn't have any shops and we didn't have any online.
I think we have some more slides here.
So this particular one is a high tea, that the hotel actually did.
Oh, you did it at a hotel?
We did it at a hotel called Damas Suites and Residences. In Plaza Damas.
So this is not the only one that you did, isn't it?
No, we actually
I think
did,
we have a next one. Next slide,
we did
please.
a few events.
Can I have the next slide? This is Bazaria Merdeka.
Yeah, this is the bazaar itself. So we actually did sales. We had set up tables and chairs and put up flags for. This is particularly for Merdeka. This is August
So it's
28th.
just quite recently.
Very recently.
Yeah.
This
So
is-
all of them are musicians basically.
90% of them are
90%
musicians. So
okay.
they came in, we give them the tables, we didn't charge them at all, we basically financed it. Originally, it was with me and my ex-partner, Stephen Horn. We put in some money together and we used the money to actually invest in the events.
Yeah.
We didn't take any money back.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
but we thought that eventually it will come back to us lah. But
Yeah.
we wanted to assist.
Yeah, but it's good that at least you're doing something. Yeah,
Exactly. Rather
you can't
than
be sitting at home and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doing nothing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
complain and
Yeah. Yeah.
and just cry.
A lot of
Yeah.
people do that. Okay?
Yeah.
They still do it. They're still doing it.
I think we have some pictures of the bazaar. Can we have the next slide, please? This is
These are our committee members.
committee members.
So after the Merdeka event, which was the third event actually, we actually had
this is
three.
your third
we had,
event,
we had, this is the third event. This was by far the biggest one. So we have a committee of 10 people, and these are some of.
Also, the committee is at the back.
The committee, all the ones in red are the committee. The ones in the front are our dancers lah. We actually had a dance. We had a dance show, a program for Merdeka. So our committee, Hafiz, Mimi, Ziki.
So I guess they are all musicians. The committee.
Most of them are
the
musicians. Amizan, Kaira, Hadif, Yad, Mira. That's. Suresh, who's events guy. Most of them, and the people these are just the committee.
Yeah.
Actually, the ones that came and actually is in my WhatsApp group, I think we have about 55 in there. So
mostly
we have
musicians.
a lot of them, out of the 50, I think half of them are musicians.
Okay.
Some of them are wives of the musicians are doing food business.
Okay.
So some of them are doing plants, selling plants. Some of them are selling T-shirts.
I think we have some more slides that during that time. Can we have the next? This is a food.
That's Mira and Yat from Alpha Treats.
Okay.
So they have their own company. They sold rendang and ketupat and so on.
Yeah.
This was at Plaza Damas 3 during the Merdeka celebration. So they essentially we set up the booths like that, and we put the we decorated it and allowed the people around there to come and buy.
To me, by doing this is already a success. It's not so much money or whatever, but you just doing it and giving them a opportunity to make a living. I think that to me is a success already.
Well,
I know it's hard. I'm sure it's
not
hard
easy.
organizing this. Yes.
It's not easy.
You have to talk to venue people.
We had. I cannot say I did it. I only did maybe 5% of the work.
Okay.
The committee and a lot of the musicians themselves helped to do all this. So this actually proves that the musicians, whatever you say about them, they can come together and work together. So it needs a united effort to get out of this problem that we are suffering from. So this is one of the booths. We had actually 10 booths.
Yeah, maybe we have some more slides. Can I have the next slide?
This is batik from Terengganu.
Oh, batik.
So
So you're selling batik also.
Yeah, so you have the Terengganu flag,
Yeah.
and you have batik from Terengganu, and this was from Kak Long Rita.
So it's a Malaysia team lah.
Because this is
All the
Merdeka.
states,
This is from Merdeka.
Yeah,
So we decided all the tables had to have flags representing the stuff that they sold lah.
Okay.
So kind of a concept lah.
Okay, what's the next slide,
Concept bazaar. Yeah. These are the plants. If you
The
zoom
plants,
in, you can see. This is Heart Dave and Rose.
Okay.
And Gerard. They are selling pot plants.
Okay.
And also I think on that side they're selling masks.
Oh.
So that's Selangor and Wilayah Persekutuan
That's right,
flags,
yeah.
So, but apart from food, whatever it takes
I
to
think there are
survive.
some more slides on this.
Whatever it takes to survive.
Some food. I'm
This is
feeling
actually
hungry
from
now,
the hotel.
Yeah.
So in conjunction with the Merdeka celebration, we also had the hotel, Damas Suites and Residences. That was it was very nice of them to allow us to use their facilities. Also, we must be thankful to Mainland Properties as well. And this is actually part of the Merdeka
Celebration.
luncheon.
Yeah.
The lunch that they had. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Local food lah. Local.
The next slide, please. I think you have dancers there also.
Right,
And I
so-
understand your wife is a dancer.
Yeah, Mimi, my wife Mimi is actually formerly from kebudayaan.
Oh, okay.
From kebudayaan. She traveled the world early on when she was dancing, but once she married me, she had to retire. So since she retired, but she still keeps in touch with a lot of the dancers.
Okay.
So we thought it would be very nice for them for us, since it's Merdeka.
So she works with tourism people.
She actually traveled with the Malaysian contingent.
Okay,
And then later with DBKL.
Okay.
To travel, so she went to South Africa, she's been to Austria to represent Malaysia. So these are some of her friends,
Okay.
And they are dancers.
So you did a performance there.
So we did a
yeah.
performance at Dhamma Suites and Residences. I actually have a video of them dancing.
Yeah, I think
but,
we have the video. Can we have the
if
video?
you have the
of
time, you can roll that as well.
Yeah. Can we roll the video and just have a look what happened that day? So where was this?
This is Plaza Damas,
Plaza Damas.
Damas 3. So these are all the booths that we have. This is Brenda's trinkets.
Oh, Brenda.
Brenda was there. That's Kyra. Also Sabah Food. This is Amizan on piano. So somebody
You brought
actually
the piano there.
no, actually somebody donated this piano.
All right.
Dr. Richard Moraes actually donated the piano.
Oh, that's very kind of him.
Yeah. This is, let me see. There's quite a few these are the plants.
Yeah. Okay. So you really have a good variety. Day and night. I saw some lights there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
the
actually
whole
did it till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go against SOP.
Okay.
But we did from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. This is the performance on the day on the Merdeka Eve itself. So we had it in the cafe. So at least the visitors, the tourists there actually can come and watch.
Yeah,
To show them our
culture.
Our
Yeah,
culture lah. Mostly it's Malay culture.
Yeah.
We try to get some muhibah, to
Yeah.
have them. But it was such a short time frame, so we had a little bit of Chinese.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Yeah, maybe we can do it again.
Yeah.
We can do it
I'll
virtually.
dance.
Exactly.
I always like to comment. They are so graceful.
So these are from the different states in Malaysia. Yeah, so some are from the north, some from the south. Don't ask me, I don't know. You have to ask Mimi. She's very familiar with it.
So how long was the performance?
20 minutes, that's all it was. Yeah, so it was a short performance, and then we finished with the celebration of Merdeka. Patriotic music. Because during the MCO, it was very difficult for us to.
I think the place is quite supportive.
Exactly. We've been working with some very good property companies. People like Mainland Properties, Arcoris Monkiara. We had people in Glomac, Glomac people in Klanajaya. So we've done quite well in terms of giving them what we think they would enjoy, and also to attract people to come. But at the same time, we needed to be very careful in terms of SOP and
of course,
and all that.
I'm encouraged in a way that people are paying attention to the arts industry because sometimes they are a bit neglected in a way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure there are lots of things we can talk about when we talk about this musician and all that. But we're going to take a short break now, and then we come back and later we will talk a bit more about the effects of the pandemic on the music industry. Yeah, stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. We are on the 4th episode of Heart to Heart Talk, and tonight I have a very special guest, and this guy is really unique, I would say. He started as a journalist, then he was in the corporate And then he ended up as a musician. That's my brother Malik here. We were just talking about that. Musicians, I think they are hit pretty hard. I think they are maybe hit the hardest, if I would, if I can say that also, because I have a lot of friends who are musicians, because they are completely out of a job. Yeah, they can't sing, they can't perform. Even busking there's a lot of SOP to follow, and they're not sure of the guidelines and all that. Do you have any stories about this on these people?
Yeah.
Or you yourself is a musician, so you have to stop playing, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, my adopted career as a musician had to be stopped right away, and I have a lot to learn. I still got so much to learn. But yeah, what you're saying is true. But having said that, not just musicians. I think we have so many other industries that are impacted, especially in the gig economy. Events people, production, even pilots now are having it difficult.
I see that a lot of them selling food, wearing their pilot
uniform. Wearing their pilot uniform.
Yes.
So yeah, it's but musician-wise, it hit very hard, very early on, because March 18th, when we had to stop everything, a lot of musicians that were living hand to mouth, in the sense that a lot of it is you work a gig that night, you get paid that night. And a lot of them actually were able to...
You don't play, you don't eat.
You don't play, you don't eat. You can't bring back anything. I mean, there are some that actually thought ahead and had a lot of savings, and were able to survive the first 2-3 months quite nicely. But imagine without work for 9 months.
That's right.
We are already in November, and most of my friends, my musician friends, they have no choice but to do other things. So it really...
I can really see why you came out with the BRADA thing. I think that could, do its part. Whether how successful it is depends on how hard we work, I suppose. But at least you're starting something that people can hang on to, at least you are grouping people together. Because unity is strength, like we all know. If you're a single musician, you are down and out, you're just alone. So you are sort of gathering a lot of people together, isn't it? In a way.
I mean, I realized very early on that, that musicians actually, especially the ones that are full-time musicians, they worked, for the last 10, 15 years, in the industry. They didn't really know how to actually adjust themselves. So when we got together, and that was the intention. There was no intention to start a company or start this or get funding from government, or there was no such thing. It was just a response, a reflex that me and my partner and some of my other musician friends had to come together and really try to understand with each other what we needed to do. So I think a lot of us, I think that was the first time we were selling food. We were selling anything, because before that, they were working. They were gigging every night. They had functions. They had this. They had that. But suddenly everything stopped. Everything dried up. You needed to pay rent. You needed to pay mortgage. You needed to pay for your car, your petrol, your food. It was actually quite traumatic, I think, the early days.
And I think musicians are not well known for being good finance planners.
Well, I would say some are.
Some are.
Alan. Some are. Okay, some are. But I think we can guess. I mean, even artists. I mean, you must consider them like artists, right?
Yeah, they are
so
artists.
artists,
Creative people are
creative
like that.
people are like that. They don't think about, they just buy their guitar and they buy their drums, or they buy their brushes and paint. But it really.
But I heard some very
really
sad
bad.
story that the musicians have to sell their instruments to pay.
A lot of them, not just their instruments. They, early on they could just sell one or two. Later on, people were selling their bikes. But this is for everybody. We are living in very difficult times.
So actually, we had a video that you show me. I would like to share it with the rest of the audience and let them have their own opinion of what this thing is all about.
This is actually a premiere.
It's a premiere. It's your brother.
Exclusive to you.
Exclusive for the first time that you're seeing this, on Heart to Heart.
Back to March 18, 2020, when the MCO was first announced, I have to admit I took it lightly because, thinking that this can be something which is temporary. I took it as a holiday, a short holiday, and it was only after the first month and with the announcement of the extension, a little bit of panic came along, but she took the step. Kyra took the step to do something about it.
So we get to do other option to survive. Musician, I think we cannot play music, busking, all that, not allowed.
Most of the musicians affected, they are looking for other solutions. Like for example, they're looking for, they're applying for jobs, day job, working in any doing some other things besides playing music. Some ventured into food business.
We do macam kuih kita buat, and then kita jual juga lah. Macam tu juga lah. So kita hantar-hantar dekat kedai.
As I mentioned, what we've been doing, music is a passion. So that passion will never go away. And it's just a matter of where can we go with the music. Right now, as you know lah, semua tempat pun dah, won't allow you to have performance and all that. You can't perform live, you can't do this, can't do that and all that. So we can only do it at home lah.
No entertainment allowed.
Yeah.
I mean,
in short, I would say it's an unfair situation lah. It's not right for you to stop the music.
Dia punya indoor busking dia tak boleh lagi. Kita dah confirmkan dengan pihak management semua dekat KKM semua tak bagi indoor busking lah. Right now, temporary tak boleh. Melainkan dia balik pada PKPP balik and then boleh.
And why did they stop it abruptly for us musicians to perform live at the outlets, which is still a question until now lah. Yeah.
With SOP, I need 2% or 3% is a maximum. So then PKPB then tak boleh buat apa lah.
So the next day, I especially myself, I didn't have anything to do, so I started to cook. And then I was thinking, why not we sell the food online?
And then we connected with a lot of our friends who we know enjoyed her cooking.
Macam drastic juga lah. Macam immediate. So we pergi SSM, jom register lah, buat apa-apa yang betul, and then lajulah. Then do food business, and then do delivery, apa je kita buat lah. Cuma diri je belum jual lagi.
I would say 80-90% musicians, all they want to do is just to go out and perform, entertain people, because they enjoy doing the playing music. That's it. Because that was what we have been doing for so long, playing music. The lifestyle of a musician is doing something out of, passion. You're doing something that you enjoy. And then now that you are being put in a position whereby, okay, you have to do this in order to survive. So it becomes a a job, a commitment, a routine, you know, and that. So at least now we are here. We are still unsure where we're going, how big it's going to grow and all that. But the current CMCO definitely has, affected us. So we don't know. We are just at the stage where we are trying to fight out right now. You know, we're still fighting. I would say consideration, not enough consideration. They don't look at the industry as important enough. You know, they enjoy it. I would say everybody enjoys music. Somehow I feel that, you know, musicians need the way that we are being put. I mean, where we are being put is like not so important lah. You know, musicians, live musicians, we are not so important to.
In other words, it's like we are being neglected.
Neglected, yeah.
We are being neglected.
So our voice is not actually
not heard. Yeah.
You know, maybe some people look at music as something leisure, you know, but without realizing that actually there are a lot of us who are earning income from playing music. But I would say kalau nak senang ni, just give back the jobs. Just let musicians work. That's it. That's all we ask for. Open this place and all that. Just say, okay, fine. You limit the place to 20 people. Maybe the place can put in 100 people ke. Okay, just limit to 20 people and musicians can go back to work. Okay, I'm sure there are musicians who will be happy to hear that as well. At least dah ada opening lah. Okay, government says we can work. Okay, fine. Itulah.
Sebenarnya kalau musician lah, dia kena kreatif lah. So dia kena pandai untuk switch. Kalau dia nak keep on muzik, dia kena buat sesuatu. Apa benda yang nak buat supaya muzik tu boleh menjana kehidupan tu. Macam live streaming ke, you nak buat you kena ada produk. Cukup yang ada, cari makan, coba masa depan. Cukup yang ada, cari makan, coba masa depan. Oh yeah. Ada satu team yang organize ni, Encik Malik. So we got a BRADA. Team tu nama BRADA. And then ada buat booth. So kita boleh jual food dekat booth, dekat mana-mana outlet yang memerlukan lah. Kita ada buat event juga. Macam tu lah lebih kurang. Macam saya dulu, saya buat produk dulu. Saya buat produk dulu and then kita promote and then kita tour. Kita tu cari audience satu. Cari audience ataupun fan base lah. Kalau you nak cari audience dulu, maknanya you kena kerja keras sikit. Maknanya you kena topkan diri you baru ada audience and then you senang your product.
Yeah, even for us, we open up this place also in a way because one of our mission was to help other fellow musicians who are cooking from home as well.
Yeah.
You know, we open up to a few of our close contacts. We say, okay, okay, I know you're doing this, you're cooking this, you're doing this. You know, why don't you use?
We are already doing it now.
Why don't you use our place? You know, come.
Because you can see some of the snacks, you know, at the pantry there. Actually belong to some musicians also, and those who are affected in the pandemic all along, so that we can help on the marketing side and the promotion.
We have the place. We provide you the place. We give you the place. Okay, we work on a certain small commission or something like that. You know, just bring your stuff here, put it here. Yeah. We will try and sell it.
Like they say, the more the merrier. Right?
That's all we can have. That's all we can think of. Yeah, that's all we can think of right now. You know, okay, in order to help our community, you know, and our community is not small; it's big. Musician community is big. It's very big, and you know, and it's only that how many small percent of those who are able to cook. You know, what about those who can't do anything at all? Who only knows how to sing? Who only knows how to play guitar? What are they going to do? They want to go busking? Okay, fine, go busking. Now you cannot go busking anymore. How? How are they going to survive?
Okay, that was your video BRADA video, is it? I can feel the sorrow in their voice. I mean, I know, like you mentioned, everyone is suffering, not just a musician. But I'm glad that I'm able to give you a platform, you know, so that the people will know, and we can try to do the best we can for them. Yeah. So how do you intend to use this video, or what is your objective of doing this?
Well,
basically?
right after the second MCO was
Okay.
announced, I think about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
It's already been a little bit more than a month. We had to stop everything. We were actually doing a lot of bazaars. We were doing a lot of busking. We had spoken to Aeon. We had spoken to Aquaris, Monkiara. We had spoken to yacht clubs, golf clubs, to take us in and to try and generate an income for the musicians. But all that had to stop.
Okay.
So we decided at the start of the MCO, the second MCO, that we were going to focus on two things. One, we were going to raise money to build an e-commerce platform. So this is our ongoing fundraising that we were going to do that, and we have a website that you can go to give some donation.
Okay.
The other thing we wanted to do was to create to do production.
Okay.
And this is actually part of it.
Oh,
so we wanted
so you
to
actually
do,
shot this yourself?
So we shot this ourselves.
Yeah.
I called my cousin Izwan to come and do it and edit it. We're going to do some more.
Yeah. So
Basically,
it's like part of your production.
Part of the production.
Yeah.
So at least we can document what actually is the impact of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Actually, not many people hear it directly from the
That's right.
from the musician's
I
mouth.
thought it was very good that we hear from them.
Yeah,
directly
you can
from
hear.
them.
You know, you got lots of Facebook.
Yeah.
People on Facebook saying, you know, they have problems, they have this, they have that, they can't pay their rent, they need moratorium, they need this, they need that. But I think, you know, once you put a camera in front of them, then you can see actually the sincerity that comes from them.
Yeah.
You know? So this is something that perhaps we could also approach some corporate or some agencies to take a look and maybe even develop it into something that can assist, you know, to give them some economy.
Yeah. So how far have you gone with the e-commerce?
Oh, we've raised a little bit, a little bit of money. We are now currently working with some e-commerce providers to develop. There's still time to go.
Is it called BRADA also?
We haven't decided
The
whether
name
we want
yet,
to keep that name or whether we want to use our
So
bazaar
what
name.
will you be selling there? Food or all sorts of things?
We have to start with something that is, you know, things like cookies, things
Yeah.
that are nuts and things like that, so that it's non-perishable items.
Yeah,
lah.
of course, yeah.
So there are some of us that are selling plants, there are some of us that are selling food, some of us are actually selling clothes,
Okay.
you know. So we actually have to take a look and, you know, and see how we can actually categorize each. So that's
Yeah.
essentially the...
But a 5,000 journey is you have to start with the first step.
You have to start
just,
with the first step,
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
take the first step, you are not going anywhere.
Nowhere, yeah.
So you are moving forward with that also. Yeah. So what else will you be doing? Is there anything else in your mind that you are doing other than this?
Currently, we have a collaborator. We have lots of partners that that come to us and say, Malik, that's, you know, you guys are doing a good job. Why don't you try something else? Maybe to assist in maybe for single parents.
Yeah.
So we also work within the industry. There's a fundraiser for musicians as well from Mr. S.S. Raja, and he's trying to raise money for musicians by doing maybe a concert or something at the end of the year. We're working with somebody that's related to Red Crescent to assist single parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are becoming a proper social enterprise,
Okay.
not just for musicians,
Yeah.
but also for other things.
That is a
I
good
mean, I mean, the world is our oyster, lah. You
Yeah,
know?
you're right,
You
yeah.
might as well help everybody else. You
Yes.
know, don't just say you're gonna be helping musicians.
Yeah. But you have a platform for them at least, yeah. Because the musicians, sometimes I really feel that musicians are neglected in a way, because if we look at other countries, the first was the Japanese, Then there was the Canto pop, Hong Kong Canto pop, and then we have the K-pop, and then when are we going to have the M-pop?
M-pop. I think
You
we
know,
popped already.
before, I think we should really put some effort into growing the musician in the country, because I think I play with some of them. They're really talented. Of course, I don't play anything well. But
I see you
jam with
play.
them.
I know you can play, okay, Alan?
But I really play with some of them, and they are really good, you know.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
sure Malaysia can really contribute to the world in the form of music.
I
you know,
believe
because
so. Yeah.
our culture is so diverse. Yeah, you know, we have the Chinese, we have the Indians, we have the Malays, you know, and then the keroncong music is so wonderful, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that can be done.
Yeah, that's something for the powers that be to look at. And
Yeah.
now that nobody has the money to develop, I think
Yeah.
only probably government is
Yeah, I hope they
able,
really
you know.
open their eyes and really see what's happening to the music industry and really do something. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I myself is not a musician, but sometimes I feel for them. Yeah, because I have friends who are already out of job for 9 months.
Oh,
I mean,
It's been
how
a
are they
long
going to
time.
survive?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how it is. So we are coming close to the end of the show, but I'd just like to just ask you, is there some philosophy in life or anything that you like to share with the people? Is there some motto that you live by that the people can take away with tonight?
Tonight. Okay. Not much of a philosophy lah. I'm not much of a
Well, you should have,
philosopher.
because you nearly died. You know? People who nearly died, I have a lot of things to say.
Just do it.
That's a good philosophy.
That's a tagline lah. I think for a lot of people, they feel down. What I can tell them is, chin up. You need to be more positive.
Yeah.
And how do you find your positivity? Some people find it in prayer. Some people find it in music. Some people, you got to find something to lift yourself up.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's easy for you to say lah, Malik. You have this, you have that, you have that. Actually, whatever I have is basically God given lah. In my book, if you believe in the concept of rizki, which is sustenance, I think for Malays they will relate to this lah. Rizki is everywhere, sustenance is everywhere. It's up to you to find it, And apart from money, you have rizki that comes from other forms. Whenever you do good to somebody, you will receive. Right?
Yeah.
Do good. If you think good of somebody, or if you pray for somebody, you get something back.
Yes.
The world is such. So believe in the concept of rizki or in the concept of sustenance.
I really agree with you that you cannot be negative. Yeah,
You can't be
just got to
negative.
be positive.
Yeah.
You got to think positive. And even at this stage, a lot of people tell me that it's just like everybody starts from scratch. Everybody. Some people are flying high here, they're going there, they're going all over the place. When the pandemic comes, everybody is on flat ground now. So let's start all again and see what happens. So I think we should look at it and take up the challenge. And then we see where we can go from there. I think is there any last words you want to tell our audience?
No, I mean,
anything to promote our brother?
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alan, for having us here. I mean, it is a pleasure to come and see you again after so long.
Yes.
But also a wonderful experience to come into your wonderful studio here.
Thank you so much.
I think there's a lot of opportunity here, in terms of what you can do for the future, in terms of live streaming and so on. I'm actually very excited to come and share with you and understand the technology. But anyway, thank you very
you're
much.
welcome anytime.
Thank you very much.
Drop by anytime.
Yeah.
And with those wise words, we bid you good night. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again on our episode 5. Thank you.